Hello Excel champions, it's William aka Dr. Excel. Today I'm going to show you how to make dependent drop-down menus in Excel. So here, for example, we have a list of dishes we can choose from, fruit, meats, or vegetables. And each time I choose a value for the dish, I can choose between different kind of dishes, so different kind of vegetables. And if I switch to meat, I can switch between different kind of meats. So it means that the second drop-down list depends on the first one. So I'm going to show you how to build this. I'm going to give you the final file. It's going to be available right below the video. I'm going to put a link for you. This way you can download it and follow with me as I show you how to make this. So we're going to start making this. So I'm gonna make it from scratch. I'm gonna just copy the text, choose a dish. I'm gonna put some format around here and put it in blue again, like this. I'm gonna take this and paste it below and choose a type. So to have like the name of the second menu depend on the first one, we're just going to use a concatenate function. So I'm going to take equal a string with quotes. So I start with choose a type of, and then I'm going to add whatever value we have here. Just type choose a type of, and I use the and sign and the string that we have here. So if it's empty, I don't have anything, but if I type meat here, I'm going to have choose a type of meat. So that's for the format. Now we're gonna build the lists. So first you have to actually build your lists. So know what kind of value you want to show each time we have a choice. So my advice is to make it on a separate sheet, on a separate tab that you can call data. It's a good idea. Why? Because this way, all your static data is somewhere. It won't be touched if you make any calculations. You know, sometimes when you expand calculation, it overrides some data. So to avoid that, put it in a separate sheet. So we're gonna put a list of dishes, and for each kind of dish, a list of choices that are going to show each time. Okay, so one thing that is really important here is that the name in this first column, it's the same as in the first in the headers. Why is that? Because we are actually going to look in which column to pick the next choices based on the choice of the first drop-down list. So it means if, for example, here I add if I forgot an S, for example, we're going to try to find vegetable without an S in the list of lists, and we won't find it. So it's very important that it's the same. One thing that you can do, you maybe can use the function transpose. Transpose of the array of headers here. That you actually have to use it like this. It's an array formula. Basically, it's going to take all the list of headers and as a line, transform it as a column and put it here. That's something you can use, and this way you have all the options here. So either you use transpose or you just make sure that it's the same thing. So it's a little bit up to you. So now that we have our lists, we're gonna build the drop-down list. So to make a simple drop-down list, I'm going to show you how. You go into data. Well, you select the cell first, data validation, and here this menu allows us to allow only a list. So I'm gonna choose allow a list. Make sure that the in-cell drop-down is checked. This way you will have the menu, the drop-down menu, otherwise you won't have it. And the source of data, I'm going to use those three. Or I can use the whole column, like this. and this way I have a drop-down list. I can choose between the different options. So that's something we already saw. Just wanted to make a quick refresher on that. Now what's complicated is how to make the second one. So now that we have a choice here, we want to be able to choose on a different list based on that choice. So how do we make that? One thing, I'm going to show you the menu. We're going to use the same thing, make that validation with a list. The thing is, here in that field, the trick is you can use static data range, like column A, for example, but you can use a formula as well. And this is really cool because since we can use a formula, we can compute different values depending on different criteria, and we're going to compute a different range based on the value of this cell. So how do we make that? I'm going to use the function offset, which allows to return a different range depending on the formula. So I'm going to use offset, and I'm going to take as starters, I'm going to take this column, data A, and I'm going to offset it of 0 rows. I have to choose the number of rows I want to offset and the number of columns. So I'm not offsetting rows because basically I take the whole column. So 0 rows, but the second parameter, well, actually the third parameter we're going to use is the number of columns I want to offset. And this is where it gets fun, because I have to detect where is the list and then offset accordingly. So to find where is the list, I'm going to use match. So what am I going to match? I'm going to match the value that we have here. So I'm going to find meat in this line. It didn't, I forgot something. So I have to match meat in, I forgot a comma. Match meat in this list. Third parameter of match is 0 because we want an exact match, so it's going to return the position of the value. So match, the function match here is going to return it's going to return 3 because meat is in the third position. And now I want to compute from this value 3. I want to compute how many columns I have to offset, and it's here actually only 2 because here I'm already on the first column. So to go to 3 I have to offset of 2 columns, so I'm going to take -1, which means if I found the list on the second column, I only have to offset by 1. So each time I have to subtract 1. So to recap, offset, I start from the column A. I don't offset by rows, so 0, but I offset by the number of columns where I find which is the position of the first choice -1. That gives me the number of columns, and that should be it. And that's going to give me a different array of choice each time. And so here, what have I done? So here, if I start dish, so dish, I have to choose my dish. So I'm going to choose a fruit, and then I have the list of different fruits. I can choose pear, for example. If now I change, I put meat, choose a different type of meat. I have the list of meats, and if I choose vegetables. If I choose vegetable, why it doesn't show? Oh, well, that's what I wanted to show you. Here I have an error, which is I have vegetable, but the other list is vegetables. Somehow I must have done a mistake. And the thing is, now when I click on the menu, it actually doesn't find the drop-down which is called vegetables. Or vegetable without an S, so I don't have an option. So one thing that you can do if you don't want to use transpose you just take this list of value, you copy it, so Control C, up, Control C, you go here, right click, paste special, values, and you can use here transpose. This way it's gonna take the row and paste it as a column like this. It's a bit the same as the transpose formula, but you don't have to use the formula, you can just do it once. And that's it. And now if I go there, I can choose vegetables this time, and this time I'm gonna have the different vegetables options. I can choose broccoli, and that's it basically. And so now that you have your dependent drop-down list, you can use it to display any kind of information based on that subcategory and display all the information you need. Once again, you can download the file right below the video. I'm going to put the link for you. This way you can access the formula, the match formula that I put somewhere, that I put on the menu, and you can reuse it and improve on it. And I will see you tomorrow for a new Excel tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe. This way you will be notified as soon as I publish the video. See you tomorrow, champions. Ciao.